yesterday, my son had an eye appointment. Now, I need you to understand the timeline, because the appointment was at 4:40. He gets off the bus at 4:10. If you've been following me or know me in real life, you understand that time to me, I respect more than, I'm not going to say more than anything, but it's up there. I was raised that way. My grandfather used to always tell me, you never be late. So I'm never late, never late. The eye appointment is 12 minutes away. So my son gets home. I'm like, hey, come on, we got to go. So he's like, well, Dad, can we be a little late? And I look, what? He said, because every time we go up there, it's always busy and we're never on time. And he's telling me all of this stuff, which is a true statement. There's a message. So we get up there right on time, which to me is early. So go in there and sign in. So we're sitting there. So my son is telling me, I'm hungry, so he's already on that. Meanwhile, I'm in a heated conversation with someone on the phone, but we're going back and forth. It's messaging, something that I hate to do. So we're going back and forth. I look at the time. Now it's 5:15. Now my son is getting on my nerves. He's telling me, see, Dad, this is why, blah, blah, blah. And he's seeing people come in, go out. He's like, why are they going this, that, and other? Now I'm frustrated because I'm on my phone. He's about to frustrate me. But I remember every time I come on here and I make a video, I talk about faith. I talk about patience. So I just tell him, I said, they probably had an appointment. They're all backed up, whatever the case may be. So they finally call our name. We go back there for the initial part. Then we come back out. So he's like, I'm so hungry. Now we're moving towards the 5:30. Now I'm still engaged with this, messaging conversation. Now I'm getting kind of upset, but I'm like, you know what? Let me calm down. Now my son, he's used to seeing me in action sometimes that I'm always going to speak my mind. But in this particular case, I'm like, you know what? I don't know what's going on in the back. Maybe somebody called off. I don't know. So I tell him, in the meantime, go pick out the glasses that you think that you want. So I'm engaged on the phone. I don't realize what type of glasses that he goes get. So we go back there again. He does the exam. Now we're waiting again for the person to come help us. So as we're sitting there, now it's about 5:50. He's over it. Two of the employees, I hear them tell the other person, hey, okay, I'm out of here. And I'm looking and I'm like, okay, now this is getting too much. But there's a message. So I'm sitting there, and right when I'm at my boiling point, I said, there's got to be a reason. So this lady walks out. And when she walks out, she looks at me and she's like, are you being helped? I said, nah, they just told me to sit here. She said, oh, you should have said something. So my son looks at me. See, Dad? And she said, I did not know. She said, I'm going to be right out here to help you. So she goes back in the back. So my son's looking at me and he's like, see, Dad, blah, blah, blah. I'm not paying no attention because I'm like with him, like I should have said something. So we sit down. Mind you, I don't realize what glasses he picks out. So as we're talking, she tells me the price of the frames. And I look at him and I'm like, why would you? Now I could be mad at him for picking these frames out, or I could be mad at myself because I allowed the chaos to not let me be aware. So the lady sees I'm kind of frustrated at him. She looks at me and she says, you know what? We've had such a rough day. She said a couple people called off. And she said, you were the only one who didn't say anything. I'm going to give you a discount and my employee discount, and I'm taking 80% off. I looked at her and I said, well, thank you so much. And she said, no, thank you for being understanding. Now, here's the message in this. My level of frustration was warranted. 4:40 appointment, we didn't walk out of there until 6:15. So my level of frustration was warranted. But it's how I handled the frustration that caused me to be blessed. You see, I didn't understand the why, but the way my faith is set up, I knew that there had to be a reason. And I told my son, I said, maybe some people called off. I don't know. But if I would have crashed out in that moment, I wouldn't have been blessed. That's my message to everybody out there right now. Your level of frustration shows your level of faith. A lot of times we use scriptures, and this is how a lot of pastors can manipulate you. You can look in the Bible and get any scripture that you want and manipulate it to how you feel in that moment. No weapon formed against me. But sometimes you're the weapon. It's not everybody else, it's you. You see, I was raised by my grandfather to value time. I don't care what's going on, I'm not going to be late. I'm not going to be the cause of being late. He just always told me that, man, you never know what's going to happen. It could be an accident, whatever. That's how I live my life. I'm always on the defense. And so many people live life from the offense. See, I'm always defensive. You do something to me, I have to defend your move. But I don't walk around here offended. It took me a long time to get to this place. And that's why on days like today, Thursday, people are always doing a throwback Thursday and they throwing up their old pictures. That's a problem sometimes because you're stuck. in how you used to be. See, if I would have handled that situation how I used to be, I would have went up to that front counter. I would have been like, hey, what the heck is going on? Why would I schedule an appointment and have to be here till 6? And I could have talked my way out of a blessing. That's the message. There's some people in life right now that are on the verge of a blessing, but how you do life leading up into that blessing either is going to deny it or delay it. But the thing is, a wait is not denial. Sometimes that wait is God preparing you. If I would have had that same situation that I had yesterday, a year and a half ago, I would have went off. And there's people out here that's watching this right now like, oh, I would have went off too. I would have went off, ain't no way in the world, almost 2 hours. But the thing is, I took that moment as a learning lesson. Now my son, he's 12. He didn't understand it. But guess what? There were so many situations in my life with my grandfather that I didn't understand, but it took me until I got grown till I understood, and I apply it today. You're frustrated, and when you're frustrated, look at where your faith stands. See, some people, they run like this. Their faith is almost on empty, and that's why they frustrated. When you are dealing with frustration, look at your faith level. I hope y'all have a blessed day. For all the Throwback Thursdays, that's cool. That's cool to look back. Just don't stay there.